people start to realize our differences aren't as big as they seem.
I couldn't really understand the magnitude of what was going on.
I know a lot of people were affected.
You know, it's still that divide.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network and Wish TV, this is Our City, Our Voice.
You look a lot different at it.
Everybody was kind of spinning about what it was and what was happening.
Everything's changed.
Everything's changed.
Student athletes across the nation participated in National Signing Day. News 8's Felicia Michelle speaks to News 8 contributor Emil Ekiyor about how it expands beyond athletes.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Thank you so much for being here today, Emil.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so the significance of the National Signing Day in the Hoosier State, let's talk about it.
So when you say that we have major college sports, college football in this case, and it's predicated on getting talent from some of the poorest communities in America. And then a lot of young people from those communities really believe if I work hard and believe in myself, I can actually go do this. So they work hard, they train hard, they get the required test scores, they get the required grade point averages, and we just watch a lot of young people from all around central Indiana signing letters of intent to go play major college football.
I love that because you can watch someone's dream actually come true, but there's something that you talk about often. You call it invisible talent. What do you mean by that?
So again, sports world, right? Notre Dame recruiting a kid from the Far East Side. Normally Notre Dame is not on the Far East Side, but they made it a point to find that student athlete, recruit him. That student athlete met all the requirements to get into Notre Dame, which isn't easy, right? So that talent normally is not seen, right? And I say there's so many other young people in those buildings that have the talent to be a techpreneur, right? To be an entrepreneur, right? To work at Eli Lilly's, to work at Cummins, right? But we don't get a chance to see that talent, right? For whatever reasons. And sometimes it's because someone hasn't cast a vision for them to say, you know what? You do this really well. If you work hard, you could really be working at Cummins or Lilly's. But somebody did that for that athlete. Somebody told him in Little League football, like, you have the talent. If you work hard, you could go to the NFL. And that athlete probably just grabbed a hold of that and believed in that. So we need to do that, more of that. If not, we'll have a lot more invisible talents.
Okay, so break down the sports development model for us. How can it be applied to other industries? Like you said, maybe encouraging someone to become an entrepreneur or a techpreneur, as you said.
So when I go, I spend a lot of time, I just love athletes, love coaching. When I walk in a lot of buildings in Marion County, if it's Lawrence Township or Wayne Township or Warren Township or Washington Township, a lot of times they can tell you, hey, look, we have this fourth grader, and this kid is going to be a bad boy in high school, and he has a chance to go play college, right? Whether it's basketball or it's football, we've created systems that allows us to identify athletes at a young age because we have Little League football, Little League basketball, AAU, 7-on-7 camps.
And the recruiting starts even earlier than it ever did before.
Exactly. So the talent has been identified at a very young age, and then the community nurtures that talent. People volunteer to train them. People share with them how good they can be. But we don't do that in other industries. We don't do that when we see a kid that speaks very well, that is opinionated. We don't say, you know what, you're going to be a great lawyer one day, and here are the things you need to do. We have law camps for you to go to, right? We have law weightlifting for you to do, right? We don't do that in those other industries, and we need to, because that's what inspires young people to see more of themselves, right? So when we say the talent progression system that athletics has created that can be replicated in other industries, we need to look at that and look at that very hard, and we are actively trying to do that here in our city.
I'm glad you pointed that out. Let's talk about how you can actively do that and create these parallel systems in Marion County.
So we have schools here, and there's a term called Journey of a Graduate, where they're trying to say if we spot a kid in first grade or second grade that is really good in math or speaks really well, we can begin casting that vision with young people. So schools are actually trying to create that model on how we really prepare kids to compete. When they walk out of the doors in high school, they're ready to compete for good paying jobs. Today, in our city, we have kids that are walking out the doors in high school and are ready to go to the NBA. They just have to go spend 1 year in college first because of the rules. So we say high school to the pros. We can say high school to the pros in industry, right? But it's how we identify, how we uplift, inspire young people to understand their God-given talents, because they're all created with one.
Absolutely, and I know the community involvement is very important. So if you're able to help, you should help. Wish TV contributor Emil Ekiyor, thank you so much for your time and also for pointing out we need to see that invisible talent. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me today.
Discover more at wishtv.com. And when you follow Wish TV on Facebook, check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.